Hi, welcome to this week's episode of the Pretend Pros. We're your hosts. I'm Jenny Hoffman, the rookie.
And I am Beth Painter, the not rookie. But I think you need a new title for this episode. You're the star of this episode.
The daring one willing to risk her life.
Yeah, true. Also about to be drafted, as we're going to learn into the
That's
NFL.
right.
So, yes, that makes you a star.
Yes. So, Beth, you want to go ahead and lead us in?
Sure. So, on this episode, if you watched the last one where we talked about the NFL draft, you saw the moment where Jenny got a wild hair at breakfast. So, not gonna lie, not the first time this has happened. This is actually how we started traveling, I think, to watch sporting events. Was you get a wild hair and you call me and say, "Hey, do you want to go to, Iowa in February?" And somehow I said
Also, a
yes.
wild hair just starting this podcast.
Very true. Valid point, which I think we've talked about. Like for 6 months, I thought you were kidding. I don't know why I haven't just learned that you're never kidding, ever, right? If you say, should we do something, I should just decide in the moment, yes or no. So to that point, if you saw the last episode, Jenny talked about wanting to run the 40-yard dash. And so you're going to see that. Spoiler alert, she did this.
How fast do you think you could run a 40-yard dash?
I mean, I think we're talking minutes, not seconds. And the question is, could I run a 40-yard dash? That feels debatable, but
Well, I feel like we should do that for an episode.
Oh my God, absolutely not. No.
Running the 40-yard dash. I think it'd be fabulous.
I think I would
be really good content.
Pop an Achilles. Absolutely not. So no, I will not be doing this.
Do you think you could run it faster than Tom Brady?
No. Absolutely not. He's still in really good shape. He went out and played, didn't he play flag football in that? I don't even know what that match was a couple weeks ago, where the official flag football team played against a bunch of NFL guys and apparently beat the pants off them. And I'm pretty sure Tom Brady played quarterback for the flag football team. Now he's not running a 40 in that, but he's in good enough shape that he was willing to go play flag football on television. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not outrunning Tom Brady.
All right, well, let's look up the slowest 40-yard dash.
It's probably still 4 something, because if you're slower than that, I think maybe you're not running it. It's actually, well, no, like, because they also make some of the linemen run it, and they're not running 40-yard dashes in the game, but I think they still make them. So actually, there probably are some that are over 4, but I bet you they all weigh like 350 pounds to 400 and something pounds, and are still significantly better athletes than you and I are, like by a long shot.
We'll be the judge of that.
We will not. I'm very comfortable with this assessment.
Yeah, so the slowest on record is 6:05.
Yeah.
Regis Crawford in 2004.
I do not know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who he is, but I bet you he weighed over 350 pounds if I had to guess. I'm sure he played line.
All right, this is my takeaway from this conversation. I'm going to practice this.
Oh my God, please stretch. Please stretch before you do this.
Yeah, I'm going to practice and I will report back. I'm going to have Doug time me with the stopwatch. I got to figure out how the distance of 40 yards.
Yeah.
That might be the trick.
Yeah, but where do you have like a straight 40 that you're not going to trip?
I'm going to go do it in the car.
Let's just hope an ambulance is not involved in this activity.
All right.
I think in the episode we talk a little bit about what your goals were for the day, but do you want to tell everybody like where we were, where we did this? Maybe give yourself some credit for what the temperature was outside, because that helps, set the scene a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had this wild hair that we were looking up stats, and I was like, surely I can do this. Why not give it a try? Beth thought I was going to need an ambulance. So her one piece of advice was don't hurt yourself. But I didn't really practice. I don't recall if I've ever done this before, maybe in high school gym class, but did not practice at all and went out to, I think it's Revolution Park here in Charlotte. I think maybe the Panthers may have practiced there at one time. I don't know if they still do, but the community has different events there, but it's a beautiful football. I was going to call it stadium. A football field.
Not a stadium. Field. That feels like the most generous description.
I'm like a professional. I'm like training at the stadium. Yeah. No, Bank of America Stadium. I'll be there next year. That's where we'll do this combine. But anyway, we were at the football field. It's beautifully lined. It has the Panthers logo, so a really nice setup. So I was like, perfect. This is a great spot. And to Beth's point, the weather that day, first off, Beth was, are you sure you want to do this? Maybe we need to move it to another day.
Yes.
The time I wanted to do it was 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and Beth is like, you do know it's going to be like 90 degrees at that point in the day. Are we sure that this is a good idea? Beyond you hurting yourself, you're going to hyperventilate and pass out. I was like, nope, we're going to do it. Let's just shoot the content. And so we went out there and had my partner Doug as one of the cameramen, and also our quarterback, as you will see, and we just kind of went for it.
So I guess, spoiler alert, still alive, right? Because we're taping this after we've recorded the content, so you're still doing just fine. When we got there was some sort of kids event happening. I don't remember what it was. And there was an ambulance.
Heart Association event, of all things.
Okay, that's what it was. So there was an ambulance. And so I was like, well, at least we won't have to call the ambulance. We'll just flag them down. But they left. The event ended, I guess. They left, and I was like, oh, shoot, if we need the ambulance, we're actually going to have to dial 911. So fortunately, that did not happen. But I did hear something this week. I don't know if you got to listen to the clip I sent you from the Fitz and Wit podcast.
I have not had a chance yet, but you said it was something similar to what we did?
Yeah, you'll appreciate this. So Andrew Whitworth and Ryan Fitzpatrick have a podcast. This week they had Ian Rappaport on. He does like breaking news for the NFL Network, maybe. I forget who he works for. But so his claim to fame, just to set the scene, is Ian is 46, and his athletic pursuits, he rode crew in college at Columbia, and he does the Peloton every day. So they're kind of talking about, what are you doing to stay in shape, right? The two of them, that's kind of their bit. They always talk about that. And so Ian said he wrote all these things. And so then they start talking about, I don't know how they got onto the topic of the combine, but Ian says he's convinced that he could run the 40 with a number that starts with a 5. Okay. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is like, there is no way. And you just don't understand. I mean, it sounded almost exactly like the conversation you and I had, where you were like, how quick can I do this? Here's where the difference between our two podcasts led astray. Ryan offered $1,000 if he did his time. Yeah, that did not happen on our podcast. There was no money offered and no money exchanged for what you ended up doing.
So, I'm just not smart, apparently. That's all that's telling me, is I did not play my cards correctly.
Yeah, that definitely was an opportunity. But I also thought, in light of your time, you might appreciate this story. So do you know the Rich Eisen story about the combine?
I do not.
So you know who Rich Eisen is, right? The broadcaster?
Okay. For ESPN?
He's worked for a bunch of different networks, but I think he was on ESPN at one point. So he used to do the SportsCenter desk. So that's probably where you could picture him. Yeah.
With Stuart Scott, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think he was on long enough. He had lots of partners, but he definitely was on with Stuart Scott at one point. So he covers the combine every year for I don't even know how many years. And apparently in 2005, he was bored and said to, I think, his broadcast partner, how fast do you think you could run it in a suit? Because obviously they're dressed up, they're broadcasting for the day. So out of pure boredom, he ran it in a suit. I think they give him non-suit shoes. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Okay.
So, and then it's turned into an annual event. So every year at the combine, he runs the 40 in a suit. He does wear cleats now. So I don't know if he did the first time, but he wears cleats now to run it. Do you want to know what his times are? So he's in his mid-50s and is in a suit. Now he is inside.
Better than mine.
It definitely was.
5.3.
So he has ranged from 5'9" to 6'5".
Okay.
Yeah. Now, to his credit, he did because that started in 2005, and in 2015 until now, they turned it into a charity thing. So he raises money for St. Jude's as part of it. People can donate to it, which is cool. But it definitely did start out of like just a random board on the air. Spoiler alert, he did run fast, has run faster than you, and he's in his mid-50s in a suit.
Okay, so here now you've presented another challenge to me.
Oh boy.
Because he's been doing it, you said, since 2005?
Yeah, it's a long time.
Okay, so a long time. I've done it now 3 times.
So you're saying next year?
So next year.
Or even maybe not next year.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep training. That's the athlete and competitor in me. I just always want to keep trying, to the point where I have put myself in the hospital before as Beth is fully aware.
Yes.
I do have those competitive tendencies, which is probably not great, but it's what drives me. So, spoiler alert, you'll see the clip here, and I guess I'll just kind of go into it. My goal was to get better than 10. I did do that. I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do. Not the 6.5, but I think I'm close enough that I think my next goal will be under 7. So,
Yeah, that
spoiler
feels
alert,
fair.
I was just off the mark there. So I think I can potentially, if I get my mechanics right, but definitely learned some things just watching my mechanics of the run that I think if I could improve upon, I could better my score.
Yeah, I think if it hadn't been so hot, I mean, I think you could have gotten under 7, honestly, right?
Yeah.
I think the problem was by the third one, you were not only out of breath because you haven't done it for, and it was really warm. And so I
Yeah.
do think if it had been just a little bit cooler, I'm not giving you money for under 7 because I think you can do that. If we want to talk with a 5 starting, then maybe I'd put $20 on the line. I don't have Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of money here. The guy played in the NFL for like 16 years and is currently a broadcaster for Amazon on Thursday Night Football. He seems to be doing just fine. $1,000 for him is 20 for me.
Well, maybe when we monetize this podcast,
There you
we'll
go.
start putting some money down. Another thing I noticed, you said cleats. I feel like had I been able to dig in better and not just have like a flat bottom type of tennis
Yeah.
shoe, that may have provided more stability as well for that. Because I think that grass was actually like turf. I don't think it
Yeah.
was real
It felt like
grass.
it. Yeah.
So it definitely felt slick in some areas, and I was afraid that I would like pull something if I made a wrong move. So that was
Please
probably
tell
some
me you're not going to buy special shoes just for this one event to make your time.
well,
I
you're gonna
legitimately
laugh
feel like,
because I have a whole list of items because
oh my.
one of the other things after I watched the video, I was like, we really need a drone. We need a drone to follow me so you actually see the side by side of me like you see in like track and field
Okay.
football. So I was telling Doug, I was like, we need to find a drone the next time we do this because, then the camera and the angles and everything will be right there with me the whole time.
Maybe we
So,
can figure out because I think every year, I think this still happens because he gets annoyed with it. But Patrick Mahomes, I don't think his time was particularly fast. And so, they can overlay the video so you can see multiple people running at the same time, but it's separate clips. And so I think when quarterbacks run now, often for whatever reason, they use his as I mean, he's obviously turned out to be highly successful. So not running it very fast is not necessarily an indication. So maybe we can get Patrick Mahomes's video. We probably have to pay somebody too much money for that. And then we can overlay you running and, see if you have NFL quarterback opportunities, not just wide receiver, as we will see in the video. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Even if it was me progressing year over year and just have
Oh, there
me
you
running
go.
beside each other, at least I could track my times and my
Your
progress.
progress.
Yes.
Okay. Goals. We have goals across a wide range of categories. So we will let the people see the video and see what they think about that.
All right. Well, here you go. You got 2 takes. Enjoy.
Welcome to segment of the Pretend Pros. I'm calling this the Pretend Combine. I don't think that's what you were calling it, but I am. So when we were recording this and Jenny started talking about, how fast could we do the 40, I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was fooling around and was not gonna do this. I should have learned by now that that's never the case. She's never joking. So here are my questions. Since I'm the videographer and I'm not doing any of this nonsense, what are your goals for today?
I'm going to try and run the 40 dash, which I will say I was thinking if I've ever run this, and I don't think I have. So this will be the first at 44 years old. So, always a first time for everything. But I'm hoping to get under 10 seconds. I think if I can get under 10 seconds, that will be a good goal.
All right, what else are you doing today? Any other combine skills?
I'm going to try, well, this isn't a combine skill, but I'm going to try to kick a field goal.
Okay.
I don't have cones. I'm not going to bench press 225 pounds, but, we'll see what else I got up my sleeve. Oh, I'm going to catch some footballs. So I've been practicing, and I think I can catch some footballs.
All right, you're going to be a wide receiver. My goal for the day is that we don't call 911. So pretty lofty goals between the two of us. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay, so we're looking at the first take of the run, And in my head, I felt like I was Sha'Carri Richardson. I was just booking it. And as I watched this, I'm like, man, I'm running like a grandma. And in the second take, I did go a little bit faster, but still, my mechanics are just horrible. And definitely not as fast as I thought I was in my head. But as you can see, I got a 7. Well, the camera was not a great angle and it was too sunny out, but I did get a 7.33. So a lot better than the 10 seconds that I was trying to stay under. As we said, it was like 90 degrees out. I had to catch my breath, so I'm like barely able to talk as Doug is trying to interview me. But overall, a good day.
Good job.
As part of the Pretend Pros Combine, not the NFL Combine, I have decided I'm going to try and kick a field goal. So I'm going to kick from, I think it's 20 yards?
The 10-yard line, which will be 20 total.
This is only the second time I've done this before in my life. We'll see what happens. Joy.
You're good.
So here I'm attempting to kick some field goals. I have done this only one other time, as I mentioned in the intro, and I'm running to it like a grandma, very slow. Did not go into the goalpost area.
Or even close to the goalpost area?
Yeah. I was going for the soccer net that was over to the left.
Oh, okay.
The second one was a little bit better. But as you could see in that second one, I was trying to line my foot up like they do with their arms. At least I think that's what they're trying to do. Running like a grandma. That kick was a little bit better that third time. And I got one more here. And I think I was running like a grandma because I didn't have proper cleats to plant my foot. That's what I'm going with.
Excellent logic and excuses. I approve.
And when I couldn't kick a field goal, you both said, hey, why don't you try punting it? That did not go too well. At least the first.
Yeah, the second was better. So I actually think you have more of a chance of being a punter than a kicker. I mean, not a high chance, but higher odds.
I surprised myself on the second one for sure.
Yeah, maybe keep your day job.
I think that's what you were telling me. You didn't actually hear my commentary, but that's what you told me.
They will, because they won't have to pay you any money.
Hold on. Let's see. 10. Hold on. You're going to read it out. Just keep rolling.
Or not.
Show my bad QB skill.
Yep.
That wasn't a 10-yard in. She did not turn at all. Turn in.
Hazards of being a cameraman in the NFL, man. Hit by the balls.
You just want to go right.
You gonna send her a moon ball? Oh, so close.
Not helping the situation.
Send her on a moon ball 60 yards down the field. Woohoo!
With a decent pass. You want more? Sorry. Yep. You want to go on a go route. Like you kind of keep going and I'll rotate you. Okay, before I turn around. At 25, turn around. Okay. All right, ready? Go.
0% chance of success. We need to get some defensive linemen in your face to add to the authenticity of this.
One more.
It's hard being a wide receiver in the NFL. Sometimes you run and nobody throws the ball to you.
you.
Wide receiver was too slow.
Sure. So then look at me at the top.
This is why receivers get to come out more often than other players. Ah. Woohoo!
So the Pretend Pros Combine has concluded. I believe that my draft stock is a 1.
As in, you think you're going off the board first?
Yeah, screw Mendoza, Hoffman, all the way.
What position are they drafting you at in this scenario?
Wide receiver.
Okay, the tape.
That's
the tape
basically
will,
one of the only ones I know.
the tape will back that up delightfully.
Hey, just so everyone is aware, I did a lot better on the 40-yard dash than I thought I would. I got a 7-something. So next year, when the combine comes around, I will attempt this again and see if I can get a 6.
Because you're gonna do things to improve.
Sure. It's all that NFL playtime I'm gonna get.
I'm just not being cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, stay tuned for more of my antics and Beth's witty humor.
Sarcasm. Yep.
Sarcasm, yes.
Good
And,
combo.
we'll see when the draft comes where I actually get drafted.
Any particular team?
Not the Browns.
Yeah.
We're going to go for Carolina. Carolina, me. You got me.